Did the everything bubble just pop? Folks, we just announced a potential 100% tariff on China. That sent Bitcoin crashing, saw a $67 billion wipeout in the cryptocurrency market, largest on record. We saw the stock market fall almost 900 points. We saw the 10-year note plummet to like 4.06. What the heck is going on? Is this the beginning of the end, or is this just another taco trade and we go higher from here? What say you, Mr. Dan Bird?
I don't know.
Yeah, I love that honesty. I have no idea.
I don't know. I have no clue what's going to happen. I do know that we gave back 1 month's worth of gains on the market.
So only, depending on how you look at that, only 1 month or 1 month. Yeah, that's depending on how you
Right.
look at that.
We gave back 1 week's worth of gains on Bitcoin.
That's interesting. Okay.
I'll show you the charts. It's really interesting looking at the charts to see that round, actually visualize the round trip,
Yeah, one of
especially
the
on
things that's becoming more and more, because again, we talk almost every Sunday, and we've been doing this for I think 5 years now, if not 4 years for sure. And
21 December of 21 is when we started. So
yeah, so let's call it 4 years. And it's becoming increasingly interesting for me to go look at Bitcoin before you and I talk. Now, why do I say that? Because the stock market closes Friday. We have a set of news Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday morning, and the stock market is closed. The bond market is closed. But if I watch Bitcoin and see where its action, and again, I haven't checked it in the last half hour, but Bitcoin is bouncing higher. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes.
yeah, that's actually one of the questions that came up yesterday on a Zoom call that I did with my subscribers. And they said, what are you going to be looking at to see what's going to happen Monday? I said, well, the
Right.
main thing I'm going to look at Sunday night is Bitcoin.
Yeah. It's really telling. And so, it's not quite Sunday night, Sunday morning. What is your interpretation of Bitcoin? I'm going to pull it up right now just so we have context because you never know.
Yeah, let me share and I'll actually show you the
Yeah, you can do that. So yeah,
this.
it's up 1%. So it's oh my God, now it's up 3%. It's up
Yeah,
114.
yeah,
Oh
it's
wow,
it's
Ether's up $400.
right. Yeah, they're recovering pretty nicely. But I'll show you what it looks like. Hang on. All right, can you see that? Well, first
Okay.
off,
Yep,
here's
I can see
this is
it.
my website, breakpointtrading.net, for anybody that's interested. My YouTube channel that I do every day around noon, roughly,
Noon
just to
Eastern.
Eastern time. Yeah, see what the market's doing. And the newsletter, which we are going to talk about today, is in this little box right here. So I put this out every Saturday,
Nice.
basically. This is my dashboard for stock charts,
Hmm.
and I have the S&P, the Russell 2000, and Bitcoin right here.
Okay.
I don't think I can make it any bigger than that.
No, you're fine.
All right, so there's Bitcoin.
Hmm.
We'll look at it closer up here in a second, but well, I'll do it right now. You can see the whole thing.
Yeah, the thing I see about Bitcoin is see that little red skinny line? It went down to like 102 or something.
Yeah, it went down to 104, 105, I think it was.
Okay. Yeah, something crazy.
The low was 105.8.
Wow. That was like 20 minutes or something. It was like it,
Yeah, that's right. It was in 20 minutes. It did that.
the thing that still shocks me is how many people play crypto on leverage. It's just shocking to me how many people are leveled up 2, 3x in a
Yeah.
in an asset that could have a washout. You know,
Yeah, but
but
that's what happens when you get near a top. That's what happens at the top,
okay,
especially with inexperienced traders that haven't been through it before.
you haven't seen a cycle. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Okay,
That's what they do. They say it's going to the moon. You know, why not leverage
lever
the
up
house?
3x,
Mortgage the
5x,
house. Put
mortgage
it
the
all
house.
in there. Interestingly, it went down right, almost touched it, almost exactly the 200-day moving average, right down there.
Interesting.
And as soon as it did, it bounced all the way back.
Yeah, look at that. That's
So
a
this is
big
kind of what
bounce.
we talked about yesterday. So yesterday is the next. This is Saturday. Um, Turn this off. This is Saturday right here.
Hmm.
So yesterday, when I was doing my call with my subscribers, we were talking about this, and we looked at this chart, saw how it bounced all the way back, and one guy said it looks like it's by the dip that it's over. That big, huge sell-off is over. It's coming back. Well, I said, well, look at what it's doing today,
Yeah.
meaning yesterday, Saturday.
Right.
So it's going down again Saturday, but now it's going back up again. So one thing that happens with news items like this, especially when they happen on a Friday, is the market has a chance to think about it and digest it over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can digest it and get past it, then we'll get a recovery. And it'll be a pretty dramatic
It'll be a
recovery.
healthy recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, if that happens. Now, the big question is, so you alluded to what caused this.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned 100% tariffs on China,
Yep.
which is what I hear in the news all the time.
Yep.
Everybody talking about the 100% tariffs on China, but that is not the story.
Correct.
That is just a reaction to the story.
Yeah. The reaction or the real story, and I tried to cover it today on the daily financial news, is the rare earths, right? China has implemented
Well, it's
some.
not. No, it's not. It's not even the rare earth.
All right. What do you got?
It's this is a whole new ball game right now. So China sent an extremely hostile letter to the world, not to the U.S.,
Mm-hmm.
to the world, stating they were going to, effective November 1st, impose large-scale export controls on virtually every product they make,
Mm.
and some not even made by them. This
Okay.
affects all countries without exception, and was obviously a plan devised by them years ago. So this is part of a long-term strategy. That's the story.
Okay.
The 100% tariffs is just a reaction to this.
Correct. Okay.
This the thing about this, if you think about it, if number one, if it is something they devised years ago, they've had this basically in their arsenal, waiting to go, waiting for the right time. So what makes them think that this is the right time? Right?
Right.
Probably the tariffs we've been putting on them,
Mm-hmm.
but it could also be a distraction for them to invade Taiwan.
So when you see the
That's
word
that's my opinion. That is totally my opinion, by the way. That's I didn't
yeah,
get that from anywhere.
yeah. So let's poke at that a little bit because I don't make that connection. So when you see the word export controls,
Right.
what is your interpretation of those words?
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean pricing. It just means they're going to control what they export,
Yeah. So what I read is
which could
the
be
I
the rare earth minerals. That's
yeah. So
probably
what
a
I
big part.
yeah. So what I read this was all rare earths. They're implementing a process where people have to quote unquote register to export these goods, or to be an importer or whatever. They're going to export to you, so that you have to be registered, right? A registered vendor, I guess, is how I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is if this is a net new registration, the registration process can be gamed,
Yeah.
right? It's not unheard of for China to, help their friends and hurt their enemies and to use export controls or licensing or approvals or whatever we want to call this game as a lever to reward and penalize people they like and don't like. And
Right.
that's where this thing gets wonky.
Right.
Because again, we saw during the pandemic that they could, frankly, the US was exposed. This is all a problem because we allowed too much of the shit we use and need to be controlled by others.
Correct.
This is national
Right.
security level stuff.
Yeah. That and Trump's been saying that for years, by the way.
Oh no, it's no, and it is. I mean, you can't argue the fact there are some things that are currently controlled by others that don't like us or at a whim could not like us, and
That's right.
we're hosed.
Yeah. So think about the things that China controls the majority of.
Hmm. Yeah.
Rare earth,
Hmm.
part of it, but also critical drugs,
Yeah. Well, pharmaceuticals, absolutely.
pharmaceuticals,
Ingredients to that, absolutely. Yep. No, this is a
right?
problem. This is a huge problem. And this is to your point. I think this is. I think China is trying to. This is not about Taiwan, in my opinion. This is about strengthening President Xi's hand when he meets with Trump.
Right. Well, Trump just canceled that meeting.
Oh, has it been? It wasn't canceled this morning. It was
Well,
threatened to, but
he said
I don't.
yesterday he was canceled it. They said yesterday he
Oh,
canceled.
oh, net new information. Okay, damn, that was a red flag for me. I said if that meeting gets canceled, we have a problem.
Right.
Let me see. Let me see if I get validation on that. It would help if I spelled his name correct. Okay, so where do we go from here? While I look something up.
Well, so the question, relating all this back to the market and what's going to happen on Monday, as
Hmm.
I said, when things like this happen over the weekend, the market has a chance to digest it. If it was the 100% tariff thing, that's
All
happened
right, so
before. And
no,
that could
so
be
here we
that could be the taco thing, just like you said, and that's what everybody their first
well,
reaction to
this
that
came
would
out
be.
20 minutes ago from President Trump. 20 minutes ago on what is his platform? True Social.
Right.
Don't worry about China. It will be fine. Highly respected President Xi just had a bad moment. He doesn't want a depression for his country, and neither do I. The U.S. wants to help China, not hurt it. President Donald J. Trump. So this was, yeah.
All right.
Now you know why
So
crypto's up.
yeah, so that's why crypto's up, and that's why the market probably is going to bounce back on Monday.
Yep, exactly.
The big question is how far will it bounce back?
Okay, let's go.
So let's go back and take a look at let's look at the S&P chart. Look at that big red bar right there.
Ooh, ouch.
So it ended that at the lows. So basically, the only reason they stopped selling is because the market closed. They
Yep.
couldn't sell anymore, which implies that it's going to continue Monday morning, and it could still continue Monday morning,
Sure.
and then turn around and bounce back. And the 50-day is pretty close. It could easily touch the 50-day and then start bouncing back.
Hmm.
I think that's probably a pretty good bet that there's going to be a reaction rally off of this, especially with that tweet or that email,
Post.
whatever it was that Trump said.
Post. Yeah,
That'll ease everybody's mind for that particular topic.
correct.
But the market was poised to correct anyway,
Yeah, the
to
market
pull back.
was
Pull back.
market had gone, I don't know what it was, 60 days without a 1% or 2% move or something like that, something crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
it was it
when
was ready.
something like, I mean, this is a perfect example right here of the old saying: the market goes up on an escalator, comes down on an elevator.
Ah, yes, yes. Good
Right.
point.
You can see the escalator. It almost looks like an escalator, and it looks like
Sure.
an elevator. Right. So when you have a move up like that on such a small move each day, 1 to 2% each day, then the correction usually is really quick,
Yeah.
very fast. And that's pretty much what we've had. So the market's been looking for an excuse
Hmm.
to pull back,
Yep.
to become less overbought in technical terms.
Hmm.
And this could have done it. I mean, this could be enough right here. Or we could get a dead cat bounce,
Right. Okay.
and then we continue down from there.
Yeah. The other thing I thought was interesting, if you're going to pull up your chart of the 10-year note, I thought the 10-year note was interesting because of how it fell off at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. And somebody yesterday said, if the 10-year and interest rates are going down, then that should be good for the market. I said, well, it's good for the market depending on why it's going down.
Yeah. Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Right. That's the thing. Um, Actually, I'll do it right here. So, I mean, it's still above the support, which is down here, beginning of September. It's not as low as it was then. So yeah, it was a big decline, but certainly within the structure of a longer term downtrend.
Gotcha. Yep. Makes sense.
Let's see. Let's make this 6 months. All right. So if you look at it in the context of the downtrend we've been on since May,
Clearly a downtrend. Yeah.
yeah, it's clearly a downtrend. You can see it actually is accelerating to the downside. All right, like that.
Okay.
And then if you think that maybe the bottom is right there. That's it, right at 4%. So
Yep.
4% is the floor.
What do we end the day at? Like 405,
It's
4.05?
four
I think 4.05.
4.5, 4.05.
Mhm. Yeah, oh 05. Yep.
So it's not far away from four.
No, no, we can get there Monday because
Right.
I think there's actually two things going on. One is we talked earlier about the tariff threat, all of that. Um, I think that is impetus, but I also think there's a general feeling by more Fed members that the job market is falling apart.
Yeah. So that's a good point. Let's talk about that for a second. So there's support. I mean, it's pretty clearly uh,
Yeah, up
critical
four.
support at that 4% level.
Yeah, I agree. I've been
So
watching that.
that's
Yeah.
that's that's really what we got to watch for.
Okay.
So let's take a look at from Stock Traders Almanac what they're showing for the month of October. And we're here right now. Here's the jobs number. Did not get reported on the 3rd.
Correct.
They do not have a new date for that. They do have a date for CPI.
Yeah, they moved it to the 24th.
Yeah, so CPI is the 24th.
I
Just
want to ask
five.
you a question about that. So normally we get CPI before PPI.
Yeah, it
Um,
was the 15th. Now they're going to be the same day
yeah, the
basically.
24th. So what's interesting to me is why. So I had heard that some members of the BLS were called back in to work so that they could produce these reports. And I read many conspiracy theories that basically they think that the CPI report's going to be a good number. That's why they want it reported. I don't know if I buy that logic.
No, so there's two separate things you're talking about. When you're talking
Mhm.
about BLS, that's the jobs number.
Oh, okay, yeah. Who does the CPI?
It's
I thought it
not
was this,
CPI. I think is Office
whoever.
of Management and
Yeah,
Budget.
whoever does that. You're right. You're right.
Right.
You're right.
It's not BLS.
Yeah, whoever the government agency is that does CPI, people were called back into work.
Right, but they've set a date for that.
Hmm.
They don't have a date for jobs yet.
No, they don't.
So the jobs number might not get reported. It might not even be reported for November if this thing continues.
Yeah, what's interesting about the jobs numbers is obviously the absence of government data. People are seeking out private data sources,
Right.
and largely they've been atrocious.
Right.
The private data
Yeah.
has been bad. Just
Yeah.
look at ADP, right? It's been bad.
Yeah. So the jobs number is probably going to come in bad. We kind of were expecting that anyway.
Hmm.
I mean, you and I talked about it might be so bad that they do a half a point,
Right,
but
right.
because they don't have any data, I don't think they'll do a half a point
No,
this
they can't.
time.
No, no. Again, they can't. They can't.
Right.
No, absence of data, they can't do a half.
They'll do a quarter. I mean, it's 98% certain they're going to do a
Yeah,
quarter point
yeah.
at this meeting. But this jobs number we might not get. I'll give you a prediction of when the shutdown's going to end.
Okay, I like it.
It will end on Monday, the 20th,
Why?
because did you happen to see Elon Musk's video?
Which one?
It just came out. I think it was yesterday. He laid out the whole
Oh,
process around the shutdown and why it happened
nope, missed it.
and what
I'll
it
look it up.
means and how the Democrats have basically painted themselves into a corner. And
Okay,
he had a really good analogy, and
okay.
it's basically Chuck Schumer is afraid that he's going to lose his seat to AOC.
Yeah, I saw that,
Both
or
both
I've
of
heard
them
that
from New
before.
York.
Yeah,
So he's trying to appease that small minority in the party that's very vocal.
yep.
And his analogy, Elon Musk's analogy was, it's like if you owned a restaurant and all of your customers were happy with the menu and you had lots of customers coming in, but you had a very small group that maybe just took one or two tables, but they were very vocal
Hmm.
and they complained and they wanted you to change your menu completely opposite of what you had. And they said, if you don't change it, we're going to go out on social media and we're going to make a lot of noise. So you then get scared and you change your menu to appease that one table,
Hmm.
and all the rest of your customers stop coming.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on in the Democratic Party right now. So it's an interesting analogy.
Yeah, I mean,
So
look at some
anyway,
of the poll numbers. Yeah,
Chuck Schumer and the Democrats have publicly stated that they will not do anything until after the No Kings rally on the
that's the
18th.
yeah the King's Day. It's crazy.
The No Kings rally on the 18th.
Okay,
So that's why the 20th, I predict it will be over.
okay.
That's he'll
Uh
be able to he'll be able to do it, make a show. See, I did it. I'm standing up to Trump, and then I mean they're getting it's getting worse and worse for them every day that it goes on.
I actually I'll take the other side. I think they're going to set a record.
Really,
I think
more
I
than
think the
35
longest
days.
shut. Yeah, I think the record. I think it's going to go more than 35 days.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
I hope it doesn't. Let me be very clear. I hope it doesn't. Our armed forces is going to be asked to miss a paycheck on the 15th.
Right. Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. So there'll be 5 days of pain for everybody that misses a paycheck, and then the Democrats will come back on the 20th. Now the big question is, are they just going to sign
Yes,
the
they'll
clean
sign a clean CR, and then
the clean CR?
we'll do this again in November, right? Because I think the clean CR was only 6 weeks, so get ready to do this again.
Right. Till the end of the year,
Yeah.
basically, December 31st. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I don't think that the Democrats can let it go that long. I think they're already starting to realize. In fact, there are probably some members, some moderate members, that are beginning to think about just crossing over and ending this thing.
Yeah, they only need 6 votes, I think, or 8 votes or something,
Right.
right, to get to
Right.
60.
So the longer this goes and the worse it gets for Democrats, because it's pretty clear that the Democrats are the ones that are doing it. As much as the media, the Democratic controlled media, wants to make it sound like it's the GOP that's doing it. GOP is a clean CR. There's nothing for them
Yeah.
to negotiate.
No, there's not.
They can't They didn't put anything in, so they can't negotiate anything. So
Yeah. All right.
it's
So okay.
it's
So
pretty clear. So at
we've
any
got our
rate,
dates.
I think it's going to end right here. Oops, sorry. This is
So folks,
this
let
is
us know in the comments. I'd love to hear this. I love dates being called. So Dan's calling 10/20. I guess I'm calling after November 6th. That would be 36 days, I think, or I guess November 5th. So what do you think? What date will this debacle be over? Put it in the comments. We'll see who gets it right.
Yeah. So if it ends on the 20th,
Mhm.
then BLS comes back,
Yeah, but it can't
right?
come back quick, right?
Well, they probably can't put the report together that quick,
I
but
guess it will
they
come out by the 29th, though, to your point. I see what you're saying.
but yeah, but it could be before the meeting.
Oh, it'll be
So
before the meeting for sure. Yeah.
right. So if they come back on the 20th, then the jobs report will come out maybe that Friday,
Yeah, maybe.
which is the
Yeah.
same day as CPI. So we might get all the reports on the same
Yeah,
date.
that could be. Okay. I could see that. That would be a
And
good thing.
then it's going to be a really interesting FOMC meeting.
So let's just again, we're just flying by the seat of our pants. So let's say it ends on the 20th. We get all this data on the 24th. And again, the Fed meeting's the 29th. Their decisions on the 29th. I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios and then I'll say, what did the Fed do? So scenario number one, inflation is muted, meaning it's flat
Yeah.
from previous months. And we'll do the one that I think the job market is horrible. We actually get a negative BLS report, and the previous month is now negative. So we have 3 months in a row of negative job growth in the US. So horrible jobs number, tame inflation. What's the Fed do on the 29th?
So if all of those things come to pass, as that we just laid out, that's a lot of assumptions there.
Of
But
course.
if they do, and I do agree with you that we'll have a bad jobs number and we'll have a good inflation number.
Yeah. I think that's the
I think
leading
I think the
leading
Fed
numbers.
could go 50.
Okay. I agree with that. Yeah. I think, yeah, I think the jobs number is going to be so bad. And not only negative, but trending worse. So it's the trend, the
Right.
slope, right? The elevator down kind of
Right.
story from earlier. So I think that's true. Well, let's play it
Right.
the other way.
Because remember, in just one more week later, we get another jobs number.
Exactly. That's a good point, actually. That's true. Or 2 weeks, but anyways, it's fine. So let's do the other side. Let's say CPI is hot, both headline and core, and the jobs number is I don't know, 50,000 created, not lost, created. What's the Fed do?
Quarter point.
You think they still cut?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to
I,
go zero. If
I,
it's
I
hot
think they're
hot
going
and
to cut. No, they're going to cut no matter what. I don't think anything will stop them from cutting.
oh really? So I think there's actually a fair amount that will. I think what if you were to get all the Fed members together and give them all truth serum, my gut says they want to go every other meeting until it's clear what's happening. So
So that's a good point. If we look at, let me jump over to my
sure.
newsletter that came out. This is in the newsletter, by the way. So if anybody wants to read that. So
Mm.
here's the predictions: 98% quarter
Yep.
point, 91% in December. So if they go a quarter point here,
Yep.
then every other meeting means January would be the next one. But I think they're probably going to go another quarter point in December.
I
If
think
they
that's
do
the
a
betting
half,
market. Yeah, the betting market
yeah,
says
if they
that.
do a half a point in October, then they may skip December, and then they'll go every other.
Yeah, I think that's what the Fed wants to go. More and more Fed members are worried about being Arthur Burns, and
Mhm.
Powell doesn't want to be labeled him, right? Because Powell's getting closer and closer to being done, right? His last meeting
Yeah,
on this chart is April,
yeah,
right? His
right.
term's up in May.
That's right.
So,
Yeah,
I think
one,
he's
two, three, four, five more meetings.
yeah, so I think he is I think he wants to go every other, but I think the jobs again, like we said earlier, is going to be so rough he has to go quarter to finish the year. So we'll see.
Right. It'll be interesting. So, you know, this whole idea really hinges on the shutdown ending.
Right. Oh yeah, this game gets really wonky if I'm right and the
Yeah,
shutdown is still going
if you're
on.
right, then it'll be a completely different story.
Correct. I agree. Yeah.
And at that
Fed will
point,
be
then
hamstrung.
the market could then continue down.
Yeah, because I think you're right. I think the market is betting this is over sooner rather than later. I think I have read many articles about King's Day that they're not going
Yeah,
to do anything until no King's Day, which I think
right.
is, wild, whatever. Um so yeah, I'm hopeful you're right. I'm hoping people think it's the 20th. So I guess we're gonna find out. But if it's not the 20th and it goes longer, whoo, things can get really weird.
Hmm. Did you happen to see Trump's tweet the last time they did a King's Day?
Nah, probably not. What did he say?
He sent it out and he said, "I just want to thank everyone that came to the No King's Day. I was really worried for a little while that somebody wanted to be king, but now I'm really happy to hear that everyone doesn't want to be king. So thank you very much. I'm still your president."
He is a level one uh tweet meme. He gets yeah.
Yeah,
He has a very unique
it's
skill.
it's his last term, so it's like he doesn't really care. So
Yeah, his last turn. Exactly. So set us up. So we've had a lot of fun today. Again, I think we both look at what Bitcoin is doing. We both saw the post from President Trump in the last 20 minutes. So it kind of feels like, you know, we're gonna have a little bit of a recovery Monday.
yeah, it feels like we're going to get a reaction rally on Monday. So Bitcoin's still near the highs, so it's up 3.25% today,
That's a nice move. Yeah.
sitting right on the 50-day moving average. So, but I think based on that tweet or whatever that was, email, I think the market is probably going to breathe a little bit easier. But let me just mention before we go, let me mention something that I've been watching lately,
Cool.
and I actually put it in my website. The webinars page actually has a lot of training. So this is the Zoom call I did yesterday. I recorded them all. You can see it
Oh
was
wow.
3 hours with subscribers. And there's a lot of training stuff in here that I've done in the
Hmm.
past.
Nice.
And a lot of these I've done with you actually.
Very cool.
But there's something that I found on Jesse Livermore. Jesse Livermore was a legendary trader about 100 years ago.
Mm.
And he shorted the market just before the 1929 crash.
Wow. Nailed
Made
that one.
made made millions of dollars. And this video right here, the number one reversal signal to know when the market is over, when it's
Mm.
topped.
Okay.
So we started this whole thing by saying Is this the beginning of the end? Is this, is the market finally going down from here? Well, he gives you all the signals to know when that happens.
Okay.
Which is very interesting. So in the newsletter, I actually so the number one signal is when all the leaders in the market stop leading.
That makes sense.
In other words, the large companies, back in his day, it was railroads and radio, things like that. Whenever the leading companies stop leading, whenever they have trouble getting back to their previous highs. Okay. That's the first sign.
That would be NVIDIA, Amazon.
Yeah, I'm going to step through all of them here in a second.
Sorry.
That's the number one, when they stop making a new high. And then the next one is when they start to come back down and they can't hold the previous low. Okay. All right. So that's the second step. And then finally, when they break below that previous low, then the market is beginning a downtrend, starting down. Now, what he said was the leaders start this first. The leaders lead. So they will start that process first. And when he saw it back in the end of 1929, then he shorted the market when he saw the leaders no longer making new highs. But he said that the other companies that follow the leaders, they continue to go up. So he stayed long in those companies, but he shorted all the large ones, all the leaders.
Interesting.
And then eventually the smaller companies break down too, and the whole market crashes.
Right.
Right. So basically that's the signal that he's talking about. So what I did was I took 12 of the largest companies and I ranked them based on relative strength.
Okay.
And I put all of them in here in my newsletter.
Well, Meta looks like what he just talked about, lower low.
Exactly. That's right. Now, I also pointed out back here in February when we had the big sell-off in February.
Yep. Yeah.
What these look like then. So remember, number one, they failed. They struggled to make new highs. They no longer can make new highs. So you can see that happen with Meta right there.
Yeah.
Second thing is they can't hold their previous low. Right?
Yep.
And then finally, the final one is they break down below that previous low. And when the leaders do that, then that means the whole market is ready to roll over.
All right. Well, we got
now I'm going to show
12.
You.
All right.
This is one of 12. Meta is and they're in order from weakest to strongest.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I knew you'd do something like that.
So Meta is the weakest of these, and that's based on relative strength. Relative strength is down here at the bottom. This is the relative strength line.
Got it.
All right. So we'll look at each one. So there's Meta. There's Broadcom.
Okay.
So you can see it back here in February. You can see right now it's struggling to get back to its previous highs.
Got it.
And the horizontal line I drew on most of these is the line we have to watch to see when that final break happens.
Got it.
All right. So there's Broadcom sitting right on it. So this one probably will bounce on Monday. Here's Google. Google is the third weakest of the group. You can see it can't make a new high.
Interesting.
And as of Friday, actually broke below the previous low. We'll see if that turns around and goes back up. But even if the market we get a dead cat bounce Monday, these are still things to watch out for, because we could get a bounce on some of these and it won't even be able to make it back to the second high that it made.
That's what we're watching. Yep. I see.
So then it's a series of lower highs and lower lows.
Yep.
So there's Google. Here's Microsoft. Next one on the list. Right? Can't make a new high. Yep. But it's not down to support yet. Here's this is GE Vernova.
Okay.
Healthcare company. Here's Apple. So Apple has not yet shown that it can't get back to its high yet. But the high that it made, you can see it just went sideways when it hit the same place where it was back here.
Got it.
So when I got back to the previous high, it's basically potentially a double top.
Okay.
So just like on the rest of them, the thing to watch on Apple is if it bounces on Monday and next week, can it go back and take out this high, or is it going to make a lower high and start to go back down again?
Got it.
And then this level, you can notice there's no horizontal line on this one because we don't know where that is yet.
Okay.
So if this one bounces and goes back up, then we will know where that low is, and that'll be the one to watch. Okay. So that's Apple. Here's Tesla. Same thing. can't make new highs. Here's Nvidia. Now Nvidia looks pretty strong because it actually has taken out its previous high.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not following that theme. The first 6 of the 12 are all following that Jesse Livermore theme.
Got it.
The last 6 actually are stronger. They actually look pretty strong still.
Okay.
So with Nvidia, it's this upward trend on the lows that we have to watch for.
Okay.
Here's Netflix. Now that one can't get back to the new highs on Netflix. Here's Oracle, same thing. Can't get back to its highs. Here's Arista Networks, which did take out its previous high. Okay. So Arista Networks still looks pretty strong. And AMD is the last one, the strongest of the whole bunch, up 30% last week on the news, which I'm going to show you something that we can close on here in a second with all of these AI stocks. As you probably read and figured out yourself, having gone through the dot-com bubble, all these companies are kind of becoming very incestuous.
Yeah.
So there's AMD. It's the strongest of the bunch. It's still, it needs to get way back. It needs to try to get up here to take out that high, but it actually did take out this previous high. So AMD is the one that still looks really strong. But overall, I'd say half of the 12 look like they're falling apart.
Got it. Oh,
we'll see if the rest of them follow suit. So the one I wanted to show you is this right here. These are you've seen this?
Yeah, I've seen this. Is funny.
Right.
Or sad.
So all the money that all these companies are talking about is just money just being moved around.
It's all circular.
Right. It's all circular. It's not really.
You know how to raise your stock price? Yeah.
It's not really increasing revenues necessarily, no. But it is increasing the net worth of the owners of these companies. Larry Ellison is getting richer.
Yeah, he is.
Right. So, the deal with AMD, OpenAI to deploy 6 gigawatts of AMD GPUs, and AMD gives OpenAI an option to buy 160 million shares. So this is what's happening in the whole AI space right now.
Yep.
Eventually, I think this is going to implode.
Yeah, the key word in that is eventually.
Eventually, right. We don't know when that is, and it could be years before that happens.
It could be. Yeah, it could be years for sure.
Right.
It goes back to our conversation about Greenspan and irrational exuberance, right? That statement was in 96 and it didn't blow up till March of,
Right. Right. Exactly.
Or I'm sorry, 2000. Yeah. It's going to be, this is what's going to happen in one of this environments is, my opinion, my wild ass guess, is one of these companies, probably one of the smaller ones, is going to be under the microscope for financial irregularities, reporting of revenue or whatever.
Right.
And that's going to start a cascading of discussions.
Yeah. Yeah, it could. I mean, with all this strange financial manipulation that they're doing.
That's called financial engineering. That's what we would call that. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they probably could easily try to hide something like that. So
shocking.
So we'll see. It'll be interesting to watch. I mean, Intel over here has been the biggest beneficiary of all of this.
Yeah.
Intel's business hasn't changed.
No. Well, the U.S. owns 10% of it now, I think, or something like that. Yeah. Pretty wild. Well, this is going to be an exciting week. Again, folks, let us know in the comments below. Do you think Dan Bird is right? Is this going to end on the 20th or sooner? Actually, we'll do it that way. Is Dan Bird right the 20th or sooner, or am I right the 21st or later? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, just to be clear, I do not think it will end sooner.
Yep, you think it's the
20th.
I think it will be.
Bang. I think it will be let's say the week of the 20th. It might not be exactly that Monday, but it will be after. It will be after the No Kings.
Yeah, I think it's that's a sad state that you want to. Anyways, that's okay. That's their choice.
Yeah, it is. It's very sad that they're playing with people's livelihood and paychecks.
Yep.
Just to make a point.
Totally agree. Mr. Dan Bird, where can people find you? Let's wrap this up. It'll be a fun conversation next week.
All right. Go to breakpointtrading.net right there. And you can sign up for the newsletter. If you want to actually sign up and get notified of the newsletter, on the home page at the very bottom, you can just do the $0 one. That
There you
just
go.
registers your email. We don't share emails and doesn't ask for a credit card, but you'll then get a notice that the newsletter is available. If you want to just try it out, you can do the monthly. Gives you a 7-day free trial. Doesn't give you all access to everything, but gives you a chance to take a look at it.
Yeah.
And then if you like what you see, you can sign up for the whole thing for $99 for a year.
Love it. Dan, you're doing
Just a
amazing
lot of
work.
content, a lot of content for that.
And you're always changing. That's the thing I love about what you're doing is
Yeah, I
what
update it
what
all
I
the time.
yeah, what I see now is, 50% more than you had 6 months ago. So keep up the good work.
And every time somebody, some of my subscribers a lot of times give me ideas, hey,
Yeah,
I'd love to see a chart like this. So I'll create it and I'll put it out there.
there you go. Thanks, Dan.
All right, have a good weekend.